Hello everybody, welcome to Day 1 Anime Expo 2017. This is Ono Anime, my name is Mark. Sitting with me here is Patrick. Hello Patrick.
Good morning.
Morning. So yeah, it is the morning after Day 1. We experienced a lot yesterday, so let's jump right in. So I guess the first thing on my notes here that either one of us would have experienced is the production IG panel.
Yeah, tell me about that, because I didn't hear anything about it yet.
Not too much new stuff happened. They showed some ancient Magus Bride stuff. They showed a trailer for a movie that came out a couple months ago in March called Ancien and the Magic Tablet, which I had never heard of. It's directed by Kenji Kamiyama, and it's part of their whole Signal MD digital studio initiative. Okay. So I'm hoping that we get that at some point because it looked quite good. It looked very much like Eden of the East, kind of. But the biggest thing that they did was they showed a new PV for what was once called Perfect Bones, which is their Netflix exclusive project. It is not called that anymore. It's now called Be the Beginning. They showed a new PV. From what I could gather, because it was subbed, the show is going to be about a special detective agency. The main character is B, who is kind of a superhero vigilante who is basically taking people out across the Japanese countryside whom he deems impure or otherwise guilty of some crimes. He's voiced by Yuki Kaji. And I was getting some serious Ghost in the Shell and Psycho-Pass vibes off that trailer. A lot less goofy than the first trailer that they showed, I think. And some really interesting character design, some really interesting animation. CGI was quite good, which is not surprising for production IG.
So was there a date on that?
They did not give a date. They just said 2018 is when they're looking at for that show. So that's about it. I basically left as soon as the audience questions started because, of course, audience questions usually suck.
They're hit or miss.
Yeah, so tell us about Pony Canyon.
While you were doing that, I was at the Pony Canyon panel, and the first half of it was really just going over what is Pony Canyon. You know, of course, they're a production studio and publisher, mostly, that has since come to the U.S. because they wanted to be more direct with the fans over here. And, you know, they played like a roll of all their stuff with, like, a Kuromukuro, Yuki Yuna, and of course, Welcome to the Ballroom and Kepeki Aoyama-kun, which is Cleaning Boy Aoyama-kun. Those are their two big ones for this. And then and
those are both coming up this season.
Yes, and they had the producers for those, which was pretty fun. The only major announcement they had was actually they broke news of the Yuki Yuna Season 2 air date, which is October 17th. That had not been said anywhere. I saw that up on the slide, and I'm like, I think that's a new date.
I forgot that was happening.
Yeah, I forgot it was happening too. And I'm like, even if I knew it was happening, I'm pretty sure we hadn't heard that date before. So October 17th, I liked that show. So that's pretty exciting. Then they talked about Kepeki Aoyama-kun, which I didn't realize is actually a soccer anime. I thought it was just Cleaning Boys, but they showed a new PV that was subbed, and they talked about it quite a bit at length and managed to sell me on it, because before, from just the the short paragraph description, I was like, whatever. But it looks really funny, and the cast, the Seiyu cast, is like the best male cast I've seen in a very long
really
time.
Good.
It is stupid strong.
Yeah.
And then of course we had the Welcome to the Ballroom producer there, and that was funny because they felt like they really had to sell people on the ballroom dancing as a sport aspect, and they they were talking about this isn't some ballet, yada yada. The interpreter was pretty funny.
Yeah,
but
they showed a trailer for that at the IG panel as well, because obviously IG is animating that. No, I think it was the newest PV that they had
gotcha.
With a assortment of music, and I got a great response from people. I think a lot of people in that room had probably never heard of it, and people seem to really like it.
They're actually at the Pony Canyon booth in the expo hall. I wrote down the dates, but they're giving ballroom dancing lessons, like competitive lessons. I kind of want to check that out if I have time. They were very adamant that it's a sports anime, and the producer, like, unbidden, like, brought up Yuri on Ice, and he's just like, Yuri on Ice was really popular, and he did this in, like, broken English, but too much BL. This not BL. Everybody was kind of like giggling.
Jesus.
And then he went back like a few minutes later. He's like, BL is good, but this not BL. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, it was funny.
I don't think anyone who's seen a single PV is worried about that.
They weren't, but he did that, and then he talked a bit about how it's the same exact production team as Haikyuu. So that was pretty good. They finished up talking about Sanrio Boys, which of course is I thought that was actually BL, but they were adamant that that's not either. It's actually about guys who are obsessed with Sanrio characters and have to deal with being obsessed with cute things. So they're kind of funny, but that's not until 2018. Q&A was pretty meh, except for my question. If I can fillet myself a bit. I asked the producer about the music because Yuki Hayashi, he did Hero Academia, a bunch of other good stuff is on the music, and I asked whether the competition pieces are going to be Yuki Hayashi originals or the ones that they use in competition, and he verified that all the background music, like during the show and the climactic moments, is going to be Hayashi, but as for actual competition, it's real pieces that they use in ballroom competing.
That's cool.
And that's pretty cool. So that was that panel.
Well, on my way to the Viz Media panel, I actually stumbled into the end of the Sentai Filmworks panel, and I am glad I did because they saved all of their announcements for like the last 5 minutes of that panel. They announced a dub and a US Blu-ray box set release for Haikyuu, which is very exciting. Pre-ordering is actually starting today on day 2.
Very nice.
They also announced a dub and Blu-ray release for Sakamoto Desu and also Flip Flappers, which is a really big deal.
Really?
Because that show...
It's getting a dub?
It's getting a dub and
right.
a Blu-ray release from Sentai.
Out.
Yeah, so no word on when pre-orders are going to start going up for that stuff, but they all said coming soon, so I would assume within the next couple of months. Then the Viz Media panel happened, and boy, did they talk about a whole lot of nothing. Literally, the only thing that they announced in that entire panel was they talked about a Death Note all-in-one book that was coming in August, based on the Japanese version. It is literally over 2,000 pages all in the same book.
Like
I don't know who would ever buy that. Yeah, it's just a giant omnibus of the entire series.
It doesn't have the Noah section.
And then they announced the thing that everybody was waiting for, which is a dub of Terraformers. And they talked about some cast there: Trami Leave, Christina V, Robbie Draymond, Toddy Habs.
I mean, it might be
Kyle
fun to
Hayward.
listen to them yelling about killing Mars cockroaches.
Yeah,
but...
I don't know. Anyway, fuck that panel. That was a really boring, bunch of nothing
Well,
panel.
you were there. I was supposed to go to the Aqua talk and all that, but that filled up very quickly. In fact, I got there 15 minutes early, and even as press, they were full capacity. So I could hear them. It sounded like they were having a lot of fun, but I actually ran into them later at the press lounge, which was cool. I was just like... And then the press manager shot me a look that was like, "Calm the fuck down, kid."
Yeah. I went to that Yuri on Ice panel with Sayo Yamamoto and Mitsuru Kubo.
Yeah, talk about that a bit.
I took 2.5 pages of notes of it. I'm not going to talk about that pretty much at all during the video because it's much better for you guys to read it. So onoanime.com/AX2017, our write-ups will be available shortly after this video is available probably, and go there and read, because I basically transcribed that entire panel into sort of an interview format where you guys can read. But really the most important thing you need to know is that they're trying to make a movie. Kubo just kind of casually dropped that.
Yeah,
they're aiming to have it release after the 2018 Olympics. They were very pointed at the 2018 Olympics during that entire panel. So I don't know if it's going to be about the 2018 Olympics, but
are these Summer Olympics?
I don't know. They just said that they wanted to release it after the Olympics next year. So it didn't seem 100% set in stone, but just the fact that they're trying to make it happen is more news than we've gotten so far. So
while you were doing that, I went to go see the Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card Arc prologue, which was really good. I don't want to spoil anything, but it was definitely a prologue. If you're caught up on the manga, then it wasn't anything new. But an important announcement out of that was that Bookwalker, the digital manga company, is actually, as of today, they have the entire first volume of the Clear Card Arc up, and it's going to print. So they're only 2 months behind the Japanese release. So if you want to read new Cardcaptor Sakura, you can do that on Bookwalker, and it's pretty cheap. It's digital only now, but it's good. Beyond that, they had one of the producers there, and the main question is, why revisit Cardcaptor Sakura? They're just well, it's been 20 years, and everybody that loved Sakura 20 years ago loves it now, and we thought there's a whole new generation of kids who know about this character but haven't experienced Cardcaptor Sakura, so we figured, let's do it for the new generation, which is pretty nice. I really like that idea.
Yeah.
But that was that panel.
Cool. Well, the last panel that either one of us went to was I went to the Funimation announcements panel, and boy, am I glad that I did. This was probably the best Funimation panel that I've ever been to, which is saying something. So they announced that they're working on a completely revamped PlayStation app, which for people like me that watch 100% of their anime on PlayStation is a really big deal. They showed a new PV for the second half of this season of My Hero Academia, and oh boy, is it going to be lit. The opening is done by fucking Amazarashi, which I did not think would fit with My Hero Academia at all, but it sounded great. I just wrote down one for all, full cowling, and Ida is scary here. So they announced some of their simuldubs for this next season. 18 If, A Centaur's Life, Classroom of the Elite, Restaurant to Another World, Hina Logic, Knights and Magic, Sayuki Reload Blast, and Lupin the Third Part 4, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, that's starting today on July 2nd, 1 p.m. and every Sunday following until it is done. The most exciting part of this panel by far was their announcements of theatrical releases for this year and next year. Well on those, so. They have. So very soon, actually, July 12th and 13th, they are releasing Genocidal Organ, which is the third part of Project Ito in theaters. Now, this is the first time I saw a full-length trailer for this, and let me tell you, I am super, super bummed that it's not coming anywhere near us because it looks fucking incredible. Like,
so this is the first time we saw the preview for Ito or Genocidal Organ?
Not Ito, because I've seen like Empire of Corpses and stuff like that, but Genocidal Organ specifically, I've never seen a really full trailer. Reminded me a lot of the Animatrix in the way that it was directed, and just like the subject matter was like super dark and weird and kind of ephemeral and philosophical. So I am going to see that movie in some capacity. I don't know when. Fairy Tale Dragon Cry, which is the second movie, they're releasing that in summer 2017.
That finishes Fairy Tale, from my understanding.
But everything pales in comparison to the next announcement, and that is the first Eureka 7 movie, High Evolution. They're bringing that whenever it comes out. And awesome. To announce this, they brought out none other than Masahiko Miyami, president of Bones, to talk about it. I wrote down... so they opened the trailer with scenes of the original while playing the original Flow opening, which is the perfect way to get anybody hyped for some new Eureka 7. I wrote, wow, this looks cool as shit. They used Acid House in the trailer, which is very fitting for Eureka 7. Yeah, so they brought out Masahiko Minami. They showed some never-before-seen clips, like nobody had ever seen them before, and it was just more mecha fighting and like awesome. Rockets and just really cool Eureka 7 type shit. The best way that I can describe the look of this movie is if modern Bones was trying to emulate Bones from the time that Eureka 7 was being made.
I'm pretty down with that idea.
It looks like old Eureka 7, but in HD with like modern Bones animation techniques, and that it looks really fucking cool. But it is very true to the look of the original. I think everybody was a little wary when they announced these new movies, but just going on what I saw yesterday, they look incredible. So I'm very excited to see those. Awesome. Some home video releases are the last thing that they announced. Dragon Ball Super Part 2 is later this year. They're doing a Space Dandy Season 1 and 2 box set, which they haven't done yet. Later this year, they are releasing Testament of Sister New Devil as part of their Crunchyroll partnership, as well as Orange, which is coming later this year. They're doing a standard and limited edition of that. D. Greyman Season 3 is coming later this year. One of the craziest things that they announced is they're doing a Speed Racer Collector's Edition coming later this year. The box,
my dad would want that.
The box is literally Speed's head, and it like says shit when you open it. And it includes both the original and Japanese series. So
that's kind of really cool.
The other big announcement that I did not expect was they are releasing Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans Season 1, Part 1 and 2 late this year.
Generally, Gundam releases we have to import.
Yeah.
And they have English. That's cool.
Season 2 is coming 2018, and also the special edition comes with a metallic gloss Barbados Gunpla that is not available in anywhere in the world, including Japan.
Well, I know a couple people who will be getting that.
Yeah. They are finally releasing Rosario Vampire on Blu-ray, which is a long time coming. And then, of course, the biggest announcement of them all was that they announced that Your Name is coming to special and regular edition Blu-ray in the States this year, which is a fast as hell turnaround. But yes, it is confirmed. from Funimation coming this year.
Good.
And that is going to do it for our day one recap. We're both probably going to have a lot more to say about everything in our write-up for day one. So please head over to onoanime.com/AX2017 to find that and the rest of the stuff for the rest of the convention. You got anything else to say before we bid people adieu?
Other than Suo is super cute in person, no.
That's not surprising in the slightest.
No.
All right, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow for day 2, which is going to be even crazier than day 1. It's going to be nuts.
We have Trigger to look forward to in
Trigger, we're seeing a new Fully Cooley trailer, which I don't even know what to expect there. Good Smiles panel is apparently just Overwatch themed, so we're probably going to be screaming about that. So Steven pointed out that they said last year that they
I do remember that they wanted to work with Overwatch team,
and they're following through on that. So anybody, our day 2 recap is probably going to be twice as long as this. So
deal with it.
Please look forward to it. Until then, we will see you guys later.